Hey, what's going on everybody? RogersBase here with a video that I am extraordinarily excited to record. I have been waiting to record this since the official announcement of Super Smash Bros. Ultimate at E3 2018. Today, I am going to share with you guys my final base roster prediction. I'm going to go through all the characters that I think are going to be in the base version of the game. I'm not including DLC characters in this, but I will talk about some DLC characters that I think might make it in by the ending. It's just that that part of the list isn't finalized yet. The finalized part of the list is the base roster. These are the characters that I think are going to be there day and date when the game releases. And before we get started, I really quickly want to say thank you to my sponsor this week, the team over at Amino, specifically Smash Bros. Ultimate Amino. This is a new Smash Bros. Related Amino community that just opened up where you could talk to people about your favorite characters, who you're excited to see in Super Smash Bros., what kind of stages you want to see in Super Smash Bros. There's public chats, there's polls, there's lots of stuff going on in that Smash Ultimate Amino, and if you haven't checked it out already, make sure to click the link down in the description below and go join Smash Ultimate Amino. I am on there. I will link to my profile as well, so you can go follow me on Smash Ultimate Amino. And actually, the main reason I wanted to integrate Amino into my video today is because I want your opinions on the base roster for Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. So I'm actually going to make an Amino post, and what I want you guys to do is comment on that Amino post with your ideas for the final base roster of Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. I'm going to go and read through all of the different responses. I'm expecting a variety of different responses. Some characters might pop up on everybody's lists, and we'll get into that once I actually get into my list. But yeah, it should be a good time. So thank you to my friends over at Amino for sponsoring today's video. And without any further ado, let's find out what characters I expect to see in Super Smash Bros. For Nintendo Switch. And the first thing I want to say is I am taking Masahiro Sakurai at his word this time when he says not to expect too many new characters. But as we know with Sakurai, he always manages to over-deliver. So while I think we're going to get less new characters in this game than any Smash Brothers game prior, I still think we're going to get more characters than many of you expect. So what I think is we are going to get 11 new characters in Smash Brothers Ultimate. I think we're going to get 7 new fighters and 4 Echo Fighters. I know that seems like a lot of Echo characters, but I don't think Sakurai would introduce the idea of Echo Fighters if he wasn't going to do quite a few of them. And of course, included in that number, included in those 11, are Inkling, Daisy, and Ridley. So I'm going to go over 8 characters in particular that I think are going to make the base roster of this game. And keep in mind that that number of new fighters, 11, would bring the roster to 70 characters, or 76 if you're including Echo Fighters. Alright, so let's jump right into it, and let me start by talking about the 5 brand new characters that I think are going to be added to Smash Ultimate. And the first person on my list is none other than King K Rool. And there's a couple reasons for this. One, we recently discovered that the fighter ballot results from the Smash Wii U and 3DS days are probably going to be used for picking the characters in Smash Ultimate's roster. And I know for a fact that one of the most voted for characters was King K Rool. There were tons of campaigns for him, and he was popular enough that Sakurai even went out of his way to include a King K Rool Mii costume in Smash for Wii U and 3DS. And while I'm not going to pretend to understand all the copyright mumbo jumbo, no pun intended, between Nintendo and Rare, I do think that even if the rights to King K Rool are still with Rare, which I think they're not, because correct me if I'm wrong, I think King K Rool was in a Mario baseball game during the GameCube and Wii era. But even if Rare still owns the rights to King K Rool, it's been made very clear on Twitter that Phil Spencer wants to work with Nintendo. And if Sakurai went up to him and said, hey, I want to include a character in Smash Brothers, I do think they would allow them to use the rights for King K Rool. So K Rool is the one that I expect to see on everybody's list, but this next one I think is going to throw a lot of you guys for a loop. And I'm basing this off of a tweet that Sakurai made quite a while ago where he mentioned that he's working on making a character model for one of his games using a Figma of what appeared to be some type of mech. So the next character that I expect to see in the base roster for Super Smash Bros. Ultimate is a Xenoblade character, and no, I don't think it's quite time yet for Rex and Pyra, even though I would love to see them. I think they are much more likely as DLC, because around the time when they finalized the roster for this game, I think Rex and Pyra were just a little too new. With that being said, I expect to see Elma from Xenoblade Chronicles X in the base roster of this game. And I think Elma would be a great choice for a number of reasons. One, she would be a girl, and we always need more girls on the roster. Two, she's a woman of color. And three, I think Xenoblade Chronicles X is probably going to come to the Switch at some point. It's one of the few leftover games from the Wii U era that never made its way to the Switch, and I know there's a high demand for it. So I think introducing Elma as a playable character in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate would be a great way to tie in Xenoblade Chronicles X for marketing purposes in the new Super Smash Bros. Alright, so King K Rool and Elma. Those are 2 of 5 characters that aren't already announced that I expect to see. So let me actually go in a direction where I think everybody agrees that we're going to get a character from this franchise, but I don't think everybody agrees on the character we are going to get. And that is a Sun and Moon Pokemon. I think a lot of people predict that we're going to see Sun and Moon Pokemon, and there's a bunch of characters they can include. They can include Decidueye, Mimikyu, Incineroar, Lycanroc, but the one that makes the most sense to me is actually not the one that you probably expect. I don't think we're getting Decidueye. I actually think we're going to get Incineroar. And this is for a couple reasons. One, I think Incineroar, correct me if I'm wrong, is more popular in Japan than Decidueye. Of course, Rowlet is extraordinarily popular internationally, but Decidueye is not quite as popular as Incineroar, and I think a good example of this is the Sun and Moon anime. Usually, Ash ends up getting the final form of the most popular starter of that generation, and based on the way the anime is going, it seems like his Litten is going to become an Incineroar by the end of the series because he already has a Torracat. And additionally, Incineroar was featured in the latest Pokemon movie, Pokemon I Choose You. Incineroar was one of the bad guys' main Pokemon, and I do think that Pokemon Company wants to push Incineroar, and I think Incineroar makes a lot of sense. He's already a fighter. He's a dirty fighter. He's a Tiger Mask grappler type character, and we need more of those in Smash Brothers. And I really do want to see Incineroar in the game, even over a character like Decidueye, despite my love for owls. And rounding out my choices for the base roster in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, the 2 remaining newcomers that I think will be added to the game are both third-party characters. One of which is extraordinarily popular, has somehow managed to be at the top of the most wanted character polls since the Melee days, and that is none other than Gino. And considering the fact that Nintendo has already worked with Square Enix on this game to bring Cloud into it, and made Gino a Mii costume during the 3DS and Wii U era, I do think it is possible, especially if they are basing this roster off of the fighter ballot results, for Gino to be a playable character this time around. And I want to clarify, because I saw some people talking about this idea online, I don't think it's going to be a tag team of Gino and Mallow. I think it's going to be Gino by himself. And I'm going to go one step further. I think in addition to Gino, I think we are going to get a Forest Maze level. And while we're on the topic of stages, another level that I think we're going to get is an Aether Paradise stage to go along with whatever the Sun and Moon Pokemon is going to be. Again, I think it's Incineroar. If it's not Incineroar, it'll probably end up being Decidueye. But I think the Aether Paradise is a very recognizable arena from Sun and Moon, and I think it'd just look really cool in HD. And the second third-party character that I expect to see in the game is none other than Simon Belmont from Castlevania. It's clear that now that Nintendo is working with Konami to bring Snake back and to put Bomberman in the game, that the time is right for Simon Belmont. That's another character that I think was probably highly requested during the fighter ballot days. And how cool would it be to have Samus and Simon Belmont, the 2 figureheads of an entire video game genre, to go against each other in Super Smash Bros. Plus, imagine how cool a Castlevania stage would look in HD with Symphony of the Night music. Yes, please. There are so many rumors and fake leaks going around talking about Simon Belmont already being in this game. And as early as January, there have been rumors that Ice Climbers, Ridley, and Simon Belmont would be in this iteration of Smash Brothers. We already have Ridley. We already have Ice Climbers. I think where there's smoke, there's fire. And my guess is we are going to get Simon Belmont. So to reiterate, the 7 brand new characters that I expect to see in the roster for Super Smash Bros. Ultimate are Inkling, Ridley, King K Rool, Elma, Incineroar, Gino, and Simon Belmont. That right there seems like a fan voted on roster and includes tons of fan favorite characters that I don't think would have made it into another Smash Brothers game, but because this one is very clearly being made for the fans, I think the time is right for characters like Gino and King K. Rool, as well as other relevant Nintendo characters like Elma and Incineroar. And that'll bring us to the Echo Fighters. And again, I think we are going to get more Echo characters than you'd expect. I really don't think Sakurai would reclassify the clones as Echo Fighters unless he had plans to introduce quite a few new characters. I don't think he's just doing that reclassification for Dark Pit, Lucina, and Daisy. And because there's so many amazing options for Echo Fighters, I think we are going to get 4 of them, one of which being Daisy, but the other 3 being characters maybe you wouldn't necessarily expect. Maybe you would. Let's find out. And the first Echo Fighter that I think is going to be added to the base roster that we haven't already seen yet is a character that I haven't really seen a lot of people talking about, and that is Isabel from Animal Crossing. And let me explain. One, we have not seen Isabel as an assist trophy in Smash Ultimate yet. Now that could just mean that she wasn't in the E3 demo and she's actually still in the game, but considering how popular Isabel and the Animal Crossing franchise is, I do think if they're going to make an Echo Fighter a villager, the one that would make the most sense is Isabel. And considering how big the Animal Crossing franchise is, I think they need 2 characters. And I think her final smash could actually be a play on the villager's final smash, and instead of building a house, she ends up building a town works project. And in addition to already being an assist trophy in the franchise, Isabel was one of the few popular Nintendo characters, much like King K. Rool and Gino, that got a Mii costume in 3DS and Wii U. I think people don't really take into consideration how important that is that certain characters were represented as Mii costumes. Obviously, they want to include popular characters as DLC so they can make that sweet, sweet bread, but I really do think there's more to it than that. Now, the next character that I think could be added as an Echo Fighter is Dark Samus over Samus. Obviously, we already have 2 versions of Samus with regular Samus and Zero Suit Samus, but they play very differently. And we got Ridley added to the game, but with Metroid Prime 4 on the horizon, obviously Nintendo wants to push the Metroid franchise, and I found it very interesting that when playing through the E3 demo of the game, the Dark Samus costume option is no longer there for Samus. Instead, there seems to be a version of her dark outfit from Metroid Prime Echoes, but not Dark Samus, that deep blue and sort of neon blue color. So, considering we haven't seen Dark Samus as an assist trophy and it doesn't look like the Dark Samus color is there for Samus, I do think it's very likely that we can get an Echo Fighter for Samus in Dark Samus. And again, we need more villain representation, and I think Metroid does deserve 4 fighters. If we can have 3 Links, we can have 3 Samuses. And the final Echo Fighter that I think we're going to get in the base roster of the game is, in my opinion, the only third-party Echo Fighter that we're going to get, and that is Shadow the Hedgehog. Lots of people want Shadow the Hedgehog in the game. I think it would be easy enough to throw Shadow over Sonic, give him a cool skating animation, and make his final smash Chaos Control. And that's really all he would need to do to be different. We've already seen in the past that Echo Fighters can have different final smashes than the characters they're based on. We see this with Pit, where Pit has the Lightning Chariot, and if they end up bringing back Dark Pit's final smash from Smash Bros. Wii U and 3DS, he doesn't even use the same final smash. He didn't use the same final smash as Pit in the 3DS or Wii U game, so there's really no reason to not give him a different one, and I think that's really the only thing working against Shadow, because obviously if Shadow's going to be a playable character, he needs to have Chaos Control in some form in the game, and I do think they can incorporate that into his moveset with his final smash. And you know what? Go all out. Give him his guns, make him go Chaos Control, make his final smash kind of like Bayonetta's, where he runs around the stage shooting everybody, Chaos Control ends and everybody goes flying off the stage. Make it happen, Sakurai. And with that, my base roster prediction is complete. So once again, I think we are getting 11 new fighters in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate in the base roster, 7 new characters, and 4 Echo Fighters, with the 7 new characters being Inkling, Ridley, King K. Rool, Elma, Incineroar, Simon Belmont, and Gino, and the 4 Echo Fighters being Daisy, Isabel, Dark Samus, and Shadow the Hedgehog. So now that I've gone through my base roster prediction, let's actually go through some of my ideas for DLC for Smash Bros. Ultimate. I actually don't expect as many DLC characters in Smash Ultimate as we got in Super Smash Bros. For Wii U and 3DS, but I think we're probably going to end up getting at least 4, with at least 1 new Echo Fighter and maybe 2 or 3 new characters. And the characters that I most expect to see as DLC are characters from newer Nintendo franchises, characters like Rex and Pyra, and characters like Springman. I don't think Rex and Pyra or Springman will be in the base roster of the game, despite the fact that Sakurai has included new characters in the past with Roy and with Corrin, but I just don't think it's happening this time around. And I think Sakurai realizes that they could take their time on creating those characters and sell them as DLC and make more money. But I do want to say this. I think we will get one more third-party character as DLC as well. And breaking down all of my ideas for third parties that could be included in the game, I ended up narrowing it down to another company that already has characters in Smash Ultimate. That company being Capcom, and the character that I think that will be added to the game is a Monster Hunter. It used to be that the Monster Hunter team did not want to include the character of Monster Hunter in crossovers, but as we saw with the latest Marvel vs. Capcom, they now have no problem doing it, and considering how big of a franchise Monster Hunter has been on Nintendo platforms in the past, and with new Monster Hunter games on the way for Nintendo Switch, it does seem like Monster Hunter's chances are better now than they ever have been. And as for DLC Echo Fighters, there is one that makes a lot of sense, with that character being the Octoling. I think we are going to get an Octoling Echo Fighter over the Inkling character, but I don't think it's going to be on the base roster because the Inkling character utilizes special moves from Splatoon 1, and I think they're going to take their time and end up giving the Octoling specials from Splatoon 2. I think they will work the same way, but I think the weapons will be different. And considering how big of a franchise Splatoon is internationally, I really think they're not going to have a problem selling the Octoling as a DLC fighter, and maybe even potentially packaging in a stage from the newest Octo expansion along with the Octoling. So that'll wrap up my predictions for the final base roster for Super Smash Bros. Ultimate for Nintendo Switch. Do you agree with my predictions or do you disagree? Let me know if I'm very smart or very stupid down in the comments below. Leave a like on this video if you liked anything I had to say, and please be sure to subscribe because I have a lot of Smash Bros. Content coming in the very near future. And once again, thank you to my friends over at Amino for sponsoring today's video. Go check out the new Smash Ultimate Amino by clicking the link in the description. It is free to join, and I am on there. You can share with me all your roster predictions, and I will go through and read them all, I promise. And until next time, I'll talk to you guys later. Bye-bye!